want to debunk some myths when it comes to adult dog nutrition as well. So let's go ahead and separate fact from fiction together when it comes to adult dog nutrition. Adult dogs require gluten-free diets to avoid allergies.
Not true, because they can have sensitivities to anything, any kind of protein, gluten, whatever. The key is, again, providing that balanced diet, but dogs have zero requirement for carbohydrates in their diet. When you look in the AAFCO, the American Association of Feed Control Officials Dietary Guideline book, the official publication, under carbohydrates, zero requirement, because they don't need that. They need fiber in their diet, but they don't require carbohydrates. So while they can do very well on diets, dogs,
hey,
buddy. While they can do very well on diets that contain grains, they can also do very well on diets that don't contain grains or glutens or carbs. So again, it's going to be an individual thing. My dogs get no glutens, no grains in their diets, but that's my choice because that's what works for my dogs.
Okay. Adult dogs can eat any human food without consequences. Any human food?
No. Let's avoid those grapes and raisins and avoid things like the drippings off the Thanksgiving turkey or the bacon grease, because those are basically considered rancid fats because they've been cooked at that point, and that is definitely going to cause GI upset. Cooked bones, very bad. When you go out to dinner and you eat a prime rib, do not take that bone home to your dog. That is absolutely one of the worst things that you can do. So judicious use of healthy human foods, fine. But there are definitely human foods that we cannot feed.
Oh, so helpful. I'm glad we talked about this. Okay. Adult dogs need to eat the same food every day to maintain stability.
Man, I hate that myth. Because that myth is so perpetuated by veterinarians in the pet food industry, and rotation. Let's just say there's a problem, like some of these recalls that we've had, where there's excess vitamin D in the food. If you're feeding the same thing day in and day out, you're going to magnify that problem and cause toxicity. Let's say there's a deficiency, a mineral deficiency or a vitamin deficiency in the food, and you feed the same thing day in and day out, you're going to magnify that deficiency. This is why rotation is so critical for our pets. Think about how we eat. We rotate.
Yes.
I mean, I can't even imagine eating the same thing for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That would be horrible.
It would. Oh, okay. Adult dogs don't need dental care because they chew on enough toys. We need to make this clear. If you haven't gotten already in the show, go ahead, go for it, Dr. Judy.
Contrary to popular belief.
Right.
Dry kibble does not prevent dental disease. No. Chewing on toys does not prevent dental disease. Chewing on things that are made, like there are some toys that are made to help clean the teeth. They've got little nubbles on them, or like things that help floss the teeth. There used to be these big floss balls. I don't think they make them anymore. But they're going to help, but you need to do dental care, whether that's adding something to the food that's made for that. We have so many products that are so helpful. There's water additives that are helpful. There is one veterinary water additive on the market that has xylitol in it. I have no idea why, because xylitol is toxic to dogs. Yes. So I would avoid that one. But definitely take care of their teeth, because we don't want kidney disease, heart disease, liver disease, other things associated because we didn't take care of their teeth. And we want them to keep their teeth for as long as possible. The smaller the breed of dog, the more dental care they're going to need. Large dogs have better enamel on their teeth. Small dogs genetically are inferior with their dentition, and they're going to need a lot more dental care.
Got it. Okay. So, Dr. Judy, thank you so much. Love debunking those myths. All right, just quickly, Dr. Judy, can you walk us through the top five dietary tips for adult dogs?
Well, these are going to sound a little familiar, so I'll hit them quickly. Number one, balanced nutrition. And that's balance over time. Like I said, it doesn't have to be every single meal, but we want to make sure that over the course of the week, we've hit all the trace minerals. We've hit the fats that they need, the essential fatty acids, all the vitamins. So over that period of time, we want to make sure we're getting everything. Portion control, we don't want obese dogs. Fresh water, always, always, and clean that bowl. Regular exercise and mental stimulation so that we avoid behavior issues, but it also promotes healthy weight, cardiovascular health, joint health. It's the old use it or lose it. So we want to keep that muscle that supports the joints. So they've got to get that exercise, and then good dental hygiene.
I'm going to go ahead and give you some questions and then you give us some answers. So our first question here is from Elise Acevedo. She's asking, red foods like sweet peppers are warm, if not hot. My chows need cooling foods. Do you have any recommendations for them?
So we have lists, and you can find them online from a lot of places. I recommend looking up TCM, which is traditional Chinese medicine, energetics of foods. So we have tons and tons of cooling foods. So sweet peppers, like the red peppers, we use them in our diets because they're a source of vitamin C. And while they are warm, that's fine, even if you have a hot dog, if the majority of their diet is made with cooling foods. Again, we want balance. So we don't want to go too far in one direction and feed all cooling foods, because we can actually take them too far. So for the amount of red pepper that you, or sweet pepper that you would put in there, I don't think it's going to be something that's going to cause an issue. So I will even use ginger sometimes in my dogs that are hot if they're having a dampness problem so this is somebody who understands what I'm talking about.
Yes.
If they're having a dampness problem in the bowel, we may need to dry that. And that may mean that we need cinnamon or ginger, which are hot, but they're just a very small part of the diet that we're using. So it's okay.
Great. So our next question is from Shelby Bernston. And Shelby asks, what do you recommend if your fur baby was just diagnosed with type 1 diabetes and has a very fatty liver? Also mention of Cushing's disease here. What foods should Shelby be giving her dog?
So this Cushing's disease and diabetes are both endocrine problems. And so we commonly see multiple endocrine problems together. I'm surprised that the dog is not hypothyroid as well, because all of the endocrine glands play in the same sandbox. And when one of them takes a dive, the others like to follow, because it's just a huge stress on the body. So this is a dog that we want to get sugars out of the diet. We want to get those starchy carbs out of the diet. Something like the water constitutions would be excellent for this dog. Probably the earth diet would be really good as well. And then the wood diet is very good for helping with that fatty liver. So this is a dog, hopefully you're getting the diabetes under control. I'm sure you're having to give insulin with that. And then Cushing's disease, we actually have a free download on Cushing's disease. I'm not a huge fan of the medications for Cushing's disease. You may need them. In my 36 years of practice, I've been out 40 years. I only had 2 dogs in my practice that were on the actual Cushing's medication. We managed everything with herbs and food therapy.
I'm sure Shelby's thanking you right now, Dr. Judy. Thank you for answering her question. Thanks so much for watching this Dog Mom News clip. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more awesome and informative Dog Mom News content. And while you're at it, ring the bell so that you can find out about more content in real time. You don't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, everyone.